Hi, today we're going to talk about the fastest growing business. It was in 2022 and it looks like it's going to be that way in 2023 as well. And this is a business you can start with very little money and be extremely successful. We're talking 6 and 7 figures, but since it is a low barrier to entry, it's going to take a little bit of work on your part. I'm not just going to give you the standard advice on how to get started, so don't click off as soon as you're here. I'm also going to tell you from my experience what worked for me. And in case you didn't know what this business model is, it's called content creator. And it comes in a few different forms. Really, it comes as a YouTube video creator like I'm doing here. Also starting a blog, and the other one that's very successful is starting a TikTok channel. So I want to go through exactly how to get started, and I'm not going to give you the standard advice, which is get started by picking a niche. I think that advice was great in the early 2000s, but in the 2020s, there's a better way to do it. And it's through testing. And you don't know until you test a few different things that you're interested in, what is going to really stick and what's going to be successful with your audience. And from my experience, when I started on TikTok about over a year and a half now, I started with 0 followers. I didn't know anything about TikTok. I had taken advice from a mentor that it was a great place to get started and expand your brand. So I literally jumped in, I grabbed my phone and said, hey, my name's Scott. This is my first TikTok video. I don't really know what I'm doing, and started from there. And literally at exactly 1 year to the date, I hit 1 million followers. And I was shocked. But there's some things that I did right, some things that I definitely did wrong, and I'm going to share those with you today in this video. So as far as being a content creator, what I found to be the most successful is to not pick a niche right off the bat, but to use your own name. And the reason for this, it allows you to pivot. If you start talking about one thing and you want to change, you can simply do that because it's your name on the blog, your name on the YouTube channel, your name on the TikTok channel. And I've done that with all 3 of mine. You know, when I started on TikTok, I started talking about business. I've been self-employed for over 3 decades. I started talking about technology. I love the iPhone. And those of you who follow me probably saw me or know me as the iPhone tip guy, right? I never started planning on just talking about iPhone tips. It just happened to be that I posted one of those videos and it went viral. And I thought, wow, okay, I like the iPhone. I like talking about it. So let me post a few more. And before I knew it, I think in month 1, I had over 100,000 followers, and it was simply posting those videos. Now, I haven't posted as many lately, and one of the reasons, I'm making a pivot. There's only so many things that you can do with an iPhone until a new iOS system comes out, a new phone comes out, short of doing a lot of programming that won't really do a lot for the average individual. So I've been able to pivot, and if I had a channel called just iPhone Tips, I wouldn't be able to pivot. So that's why I think it's critical to name the channel with your name. Next, I suggest you pick just one to get started with. Unless you're jumping into this full time, which I don't recommend because it really takes months and months or years and years to start to produce income, you really have 2 options. You either have to build a following through free content, or you're going to spend money paying for ads to get people to some type of landing page where you're going to collect an email address, which would allow you to build a relationship. Becoming a content creator is very inexpensive to get started. If you look at some of the most successful, like Mr. Beast, he started literally with his laptop and the camera. But it's important to remember that he made videos for 5 years before they actually started to go viral and his channel started to take off. And I think that's one of the things that people really get confused on early on, is the fact they think they're just going to go viral overnight. And it's just not the way it works. Still, as you can see on this YouTube channel right here, I have about 4,600 subscribers. Thank you to each and every one of you who watch my videos. And my average video gets 20, 30, 40 views. Now, if you compare that to TikTok, I have 1.4 million plus subscribers, and on average, those videos get thousands of views, tens and hundreds of thousands of views sometimes, depending on the subject matter. So you really don't know, but I think if you go in with a long-term approach, saying, you know what, I'm going to spend the next year dedicated to producing blog posts every week, or producing TikTok videos each and every week, or YouTube videos. As you can see here, yesterday I started the challenge. I'm challenging myself with creating a YouTube video every single day for a year. And that's going to be quite the task, and I look forward to it, but it's certainly going to be a challenge. Okay, so let's start out with the things that I did right that I feel that you can model, or I even got a little bit lucky with, to be honest. The first one is I picked one platform and I really stuck with it. I dedicated my time there. I spent time each and every day researching and learning the TikTok platform inside and out. And I feel that by doing that, it really helped me to focus on one thing at a time. The other piece that not a lot of people still do is I don't treat people who follow me or subscribe as just a number. If you notice, I try to comment on every single comment that people leave me, and I want that interaction. And it's not easy to do. There's been times on TikTok where they actually slowed down my account because I commented so many times in a row, they thought that I was spamming accounts, even though they were my own videos. But that interaction is real, and I enjoy that. That's what I love doing this for, and why I love the teaching aspect is that interaction. The next piece is definitely consistency. The platforms want to see that you're consistent. Pick a posting schedule, whether I would recommend on TikTok at least 3 to 5 times a week, on YouTube at least once a week, but this will also let your audience know that you're going to continually give new information, that you're constantly researching and trying to put out new content. And I think that's really important. You can learn most of this information for free, but I wanted to shortcut the process. So by doing that, I went and bought what I thought was the best blogging course, and I still believe that. I went and bought the best video YouTube course, and then I also went and bought the best TikTok course. And by doing that, I was able to shortcut the learning process, take a lot of the guesswork out of it. If you're starting with little or no money, then just jump in, see what's working in the areas and the subjects that you want to talk about, and do your best to model. Not copy, but model those creators. And you're going to find success, what they call reverse engineering. But I feel that if you want to shortcut the process and you can afford to do that, courses are definitely a great way to get the best information that's working right now. So let's move to the other piece that I didn't do so well, and mistakes that I would definitely recommend you don't make. And I have what's called shiny object syndrome. It's not a real diagnosis, but it's where I get an email and think, a new course or a new tool or a new software, and I go out and buy it. I've done that way too much, and that also caused me to lose some focus. At one time, I was trying to produce blog posts every week, YouTube videos every week, as well as TikTok videos every single day. And after about a year and a half of that, I honestly started to burn out. I hit a wall. Just felt like I was spending literally from the time I got out of bed commenting and interacting with people and teaching, which is my favorite part, but then all of the editing, which is not my favorite part, the thumbnail creation, the research, and everything behind the scenes. And even though I do this full time, it still felt like there were many days where I would start in the dark and end up in the dark. I'd work 12, 14, 16 hours. 12 hours was kind of the norm to create that much content. And the reality is, it's too much. And what's the point in doing this when you end up getting to the point where you're miserable? So I actually took a break for a couple months where I stepped back and had to reevaluate exactly what I want to do. So I would definitely encourage you not to make that mistake. The next piece is I bought way too much equipment. I do like the camera that I have. I have a Canon EOS 50, and I think this is a great camera for a few different reasons, but I went out and bought multiple tripods. I bought multiple camera lenses. I bought multiple microphones, as well as lighting and a backdrop for a studio, a brand new Mac desktop computer. So I went all in because this isn't the first year of producing videos. In fact, if you look at this one, I started producing videos in 2009. And so I've made hundreds of videos and knew that doing this full time was what I wanted to do. But I still think that shiny object syndrome can get the best of me. So the reason I tell you that is you don't need to go out and buy all of the fancy camera equipment until you start making the revenue that you can invest back into the business. Okay, I saved the best for last. The hardest part of being a content creator is getting started. Honestly, it's pressing record or it's writing that first blog post. And the reason that's so hard is we feel like, boy, am I good enough? Do I know enough information? And what you have to remember is there's always going to be people who know more about a subject matter than you do. And there's also going to be a lot of people who know less. And you're going to create content, and you're going to find followers and build relationships with people that are a few steps behind you. If you're just getting started, share your journey. Tell people where you're at. I think one of the biggest turnoffs is telling people that you're making tens of thousands of dollars every single month, and you're not. And there's so much software out there that can really look and see how much traffic you're getting. The views tell a lot. So be honest with people and share your journey if you're brand new, because there's probably thousands of other people in your specific niche talking about the subject that you're talking about who don't know as much as you do. So getting over that and just pressing record is critical. So hey, I hope this video has been helpful. I'd love it if you hit that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and as always, leave a comment down below and I'll answer it as soon as possible. Thanks for watching and make it a great day.